Time is money. This is the richest lie that keeps you broke. And I will prove why in just a minute. How many of you are driving 15 minutes out of your way to save 2 cents on your gas? Let's do the math. 15 minutes, let's times that by 2 for a rounded back trip. So that's 30 minutes to save you 2 cents per gallon. Let's say you have a 15-gallon tank and you're all the way empty before you fill up. This is 2 times 15 is 30. You're saving 1 penny for every minute you spend to get the gas. And that's just getting to and from. That's not waiting in line. That's not actually pumping your gas. Now let's take this a step further. How many of you have an hourly rate job? So let's say you make $30 an hour. $30 divided by 2 equals 15, obviously. Easy math on camera. You spent $15 to save 30 cents. Let's take this a step further. Let's say I write you a check and it definitely clears for $1 million. Who would take it? I bet you all raised your hand. But let's say the caveat is you have to end your life today. You get a check for $1 million, but no moss, livy. Now who would take it? Probably no one, right? Let's reverse that. If you had a disease and you only had the rest of the day to live, but I had a cure and I was the only one who had it, and I would sell it to you for $1 million, and you had only $1 million to your name, how many of you would give up everything you own to extend your life for however long you might live? Now, you could get hit by a bus the next day. There's no way of knowing, but I bet you would all roll the dice and extend your life to wait and find out how long you live and to see if you can't rebuild. Now, I know this is kind of a morbid example, but it's just to show you that your time is infinitely worth more than your money. And the lie is that if you trade your time for somebody else's money, it's going to make you wealthy, but really all it does is make them wealthy. So this is my mission in life. My mission is for myself and my wife to buy our time back so when we have kids, we can spend it with them how we want, teaching them how to do the same thing. So for every generation that follows ours, we'll be able to live free of trading our time for somebody else's money. Right now, I'm building myself up, but I'm making anywhere between $1,500 to $15,000 an hour. Some of you is going to think that's absolute crazy, and that's fine because my clients don't, and they're the ones who are paying me, not you. And you're absolutely entitled to your opinions. Now, I'm not saying that every time I boot up my laptop, I'm making $15,000 an hour. I have to put a lot of work that I don't make any money on building my business, so I have enough value to essentially sell to somebody to make that $15,000 make sense. Full disclosure, it's kind of hard to quantify my actual hourly rate. I'm going to use my wife's for this example. My wife is out flying right now. She is a badass pilot, and she hates when I say that because she's very humble, but she is an incredible backcountry pilot, and her daily rate for a charter flight is north of $1,000. She hates it when I bring up what she actually makes. For YouTube math, we'll use $8,000. She took 2 charter flights this week, which equals $2,000. Now, obviously, we are moving into our new house, and she was struggling with the decision if she was going to take these flights or not, because I could have definitely used her here. Now, this is how it makes sense. Movers cost us about $150 a day. For 2 days, that's $300. A lot of people would say, oh, you two are both fit, capable beings. You could go move yourselves and save $300. Totally makes sense. The problem with that, if she would have stayed home and moved, then we would have actually lost $1,700. Us hiring movers at $300 actually saved us $1,700. Another case that time is not money. Now, I'm going to submit something to you. What if in your life, instead of getting paid by the hour, you got paid by the outcome? How long have you been doing whatever it is that you're doing? And how much more efficient are you doing that thing than if somebody just started doing that thing today? Let's take a plumber, for instance. By the way, if you're just getting started out and you want to hack, become a plumber. Become an apprentice and get paid to learn a trade that people are not going into anymore, but will never go away. Weird. If you didn't notice that, my light crew just actually quit to go become an apprentice today because they're going to end up making way more than I can pay them. Disclaimer, no light crew was hurt at the filming of this production. What if you kept your 9 to 5 and kept getting paid by the hour, but you started a side hustle doing the same thing and being paid for whatever your service is? Or if that's not realistic, if there's no market for your service on the open market, I highly doubt that's true, but let's say there's not. You can take your time and develop a skill or just create content. Let's say you spend every day watching an hour of Grey's Anatomy. Let's say instead of taking that hour and watching Grey's Anatomy, you took that hour and you vlogged about Grey's Anatomy, or you just blogged about Grey's Anatomy. Now, you probably wouldn't take off right off the bat, but if you did that over the next 10 years, at the end of the 10 years, I bet you'd be pretty dang good at whatever content you were creating, and people would be ingesting your content, and you would be getting paid to create that content rather than ingesting the content, and you'd be spending the same amount of time creating versus consuming. Here's the practical application. Take your hourly rate, whatever that is, if that's a 9 to 5 or if that's your side hustle, calculate it out. Anything you can pay somebody else at a lower rate to do the same thing, whether it's the neighbor kids mowing your lawn, somebody to meal prep for you, somebody to clean your house, you pay them and you get that time back, and you invest that time into yourself to be able to make more money, whether that's developing a skill or creating content or working more or generating leads, whatever it takes. Make yourself financially independent, invest your time to get other people's money. And we're not talking about a pyramid scheme or a scam. I'm talking about creating so much value for other people that it's worth them trading their cash for that value. What service are you going to pay somebody else to do for you? Comment below, let me know. And if you found any kind of value in this at all, send this off to somebody else so another entrepreneur or another person that's just trying to break out of the matrix can start developing the skills to find their financial freedom.